Hey guys, my name is Mark, Northern California, and I'd like to show or teach you guys how to build a barbecue. By no means am I a welder, fabricator, iron worker. I just wanted to share some of my knowledge that I picked up along the way on building these things. First of all, this is a 15-gallon air tank. Was a compressor on there. I started working on it a couple days ago. It's got some steel on there. It's got wheels, which is nice. You usually want to have a pallet. Just like I got that pallet right there, and I put some casters underneath. This one here is an 80-gallon tank. It's actually a propane tank. I'm making this is just my other project right now that I'm working on. It's pretty nice. A lot of work in building these things. But anyways, having a pallet's real nice with some casters on there, because as heavy as these things are, it's like 250 pounds, and you can just swing them any which way you like. But I'd like to start a series on building these things. I've built quite a few of them. I got quite a bit of them. Here's another project I worked on. This is Project Burn here. You can build them out of barrels, propane tanks, air tanks. Whatever you find is good. Be careful with working with these kind of tanks, of course. I usually pick mine up at swap meets. You know, you get good deals on them. If you go to Craigslist, I picked up most of mine here on Craigslist. I place an ad for a wanted, or you pick them up on the free section. Just, you know, wherever you find them, it's great. You know, just again, you want to be real careful with them, with what you get. First of all, let's start with materials. Well, actually, let's start with tools you're going to need for getting going on your barbecue project, smoker. You're going to need a little buzz box. I got here a little a DC 295 amp welder. It's a stick welder. It's a Dayton. I picked it up Craigslist as well. You know, just something cheap just to work on nights and weekends. I don't make money off this. I just do it for fun as a hobby. So you got your welder. You're going to need your buzz box welder. You're going to need some rod. I got some rod in here. You always want to keep your rod covered. This is just some 6013 rod. I use it on my lighter material, my lighter gauge material. And I got my 7018 rod here, which I use for everything basically. It's a real good rod. It works real nice. You're going to need a welding hood, a helmet, of course. Of course, you want to wear your gloves. You want to have a nice pair of gloves and a welder's hat, sparks for grinding, whatnot. I got some gauges here I put out. That's an acetylene, and that'll be an oxygen gauge I have. Get yourself a couple of tanks, you know, oxygen tank and a couple of acetylene tanks. I got small B tanks. You're gonna need those. I put out a torch here. If you can't get access to a couple of tanks, you know, or gauges or whatnot, get yourself a little torch and a striker. You need a striker to light up your torch with. Just a small bottle you get at Home Depot or Ace Hardware. Don't use propane. It takes way too long to heat up the pipe to bend it. That's what we'll be using the torches for, just to bend half-inch stock to make hinges. Get yourself some MAP gas, works great. It heats up a lot hotter than propane does in less time. I got some spray paint here. I got a black and a white. I use that for the places that it doesn't get hot on the outside there, or on frames of barbecues like that. You could also use type that you brush on, works well also. But, you know, a couple different colors, whatever colors you like for your frames or your trailers. You paint them with, you paint your rims or whatever you want, you can paint. I got a cool red here. This is an engine enamel. It's up to 500 degrees. It's a Ford red. And I got a Hunter green high heat. Same deal, 500 degrees. Works well. What I found is with the engine enamel, you get totally different amount of colors and a nice sheen. With this other high heat paint, you don't get a great sheen and not too many different colors as well. This works real handy here for better control. Works way nice. You pop it on the spray can and away you go. It works well. You're gonna need a tape measure, of course, to measure stuff. 100-foot tape measure works well. It's real handy. You really need it. Keep rags around in your shop, your area. It's nice. A framer square. Framer square is very important. You really do need a framer square a lot. Keep a few markers around. You need a lot of markers. I lose them a lot, so that's why I keep around a lot. Torpedo level, real handy. Here's some wire brushes. Keep some wire brushes around. You need them for your welds. Here's a welding hammer. You need that when you're welding. Just a regular hammer. You need to keep a regular hammer around with you. Utility knife. Vice grips. Keep a couple different sizes around. A couple different styles. Again, guys, you don't need everything I have here. It's just what I use on my projects. I use every one of these tools quite a bit. I just keep them around. I keep them in a toolbox on my welding table here, and I just grab from them as I need them. I usually keep my table clear. Pipe wrench is good to have around. You're gonna need a pipe wrench if you're working on propane tanks. They usually have valves back here. I usually take them off and I fill it all in so there's nothing behind them. Crescent wrench. Get yourself a grinder, good grinder. This is a flapper wheel here. It's real handy to have a flapper wheel. You really should have one. It works real well. Cutting blades, just small. This is a 4-inch grinder, so I use 4-inch cutting blades on them. A drill. This is a 3/8 chuck drill I picked up. I put my bits on them. That's what I use to drill for temperature gauges on these barbecues I have. Real handy, of course. You're gonna need a chop saw. Just pick one up wherever you can. A few blades works real great, unless you want to use your grinder to cut up all your metal. It takes a lot of time, but the chop saw will save you a ton of time. I mean, it's real great to have. A vise. Vise is good, of course. If you don't have a vise, you could use your tri-vise. That works well too. But this is good to have as well. Works good. Well, anyways, let's get started on how to start this thing. What I usually do is I pick up my tanks, of course. Take off all the valves, let them aerate. There's different methods of preparing them to cut open. You might want to investigate, how to cut air tanks or how to cut propane tanks. This is a 15-gallon air tank, and the very first thing I do before I get them started, before I even cut the door out, is I use some stripper. I picked this up here, and a cheap brush, which are about $1 at the depot, and you just follow the directions, brush it on in one direction. 15 minutes later, you come back and scrape it all off with a putty knife and a rag, so they're handy to have around. Sometimes I use my wire brushes as well. They work good. Sometimes you need to go over them a couple times. I went over it yesterday. I didn't get everything out. I need to work on the ends, and I'm gonna grind this handles off. I'm gonna take that off right there, and it'll just be a bare tank. I'm gonna leave the wheels on for now because they're good to have just for movement. So I don't have the room right now to have another pallet in here while I finish up this project there. So hope you guys learn something. I'm going to show you guys step by step on cutting the door out, putting the hinges on, what dimensions to use, the type of material, just everything overall just to build this thing. Let's do this together. Alright, so leave some comments, let me know what you think, give me some ideas. Like I said, I'm not a professional, I just do this as a hobby, and anything's appreciated. Any kind of advice or whatever you could tell me or want to tell me or whatever. Thanks. All right, have a nice day.